Thunder Valley, the world's fastest half mile, the last great Coliseum, all of which perfectly describes the challenge the Midwest Sim Racing Association Truck Series presented by VFW is embarking on tonight, and all of which is coming at you live on PitStop TV. Welcome and thank you for tuning in and joining us for tonight's action here at the virtual Bristol, Tennessee. Jacob Zala and Trey Shuttlesworth alongside me this evening, and we're ready for the Midwest Sim Racing Association's Truck Series drivers to take to the high banks of the virtual Bristol Motor Speedway tonight. And Jacob, a daunting task is upon these drivers. What say you about taking to the high-speed half mile in a truck?
Yeah, well, first off, Emerson, I'd like to say welcome back. I'm glad to be back here on the MSRA Truck Series side of things. Let's look at the track here tonight. You see in turns 1 and 2, there's 26 degrees of banking. That's 26 degrees of banking on the bottom. And then there's 30 degrees of banking at the top, close to the wall. And then going down that back stretch, 6 degrees of banking to the apron, 10 to the wall, and 3 and 4 is the same thing as 1 and 2. And then you get back to the front stretch. So these drivers definitely have a tough task here. They don't call it the last great Coliseum. It's gonna make these drivers get loose. It is a tough track, not as tough as Darlington, but this track is really tough.
Yeah, absolutely. I was, just taking laps earlier, and I wasn't trying too hard, but I was just trying to run some laps, and I think it's a relatively easy track to drive, but it is hard to be fast. It's hard to be competitive here because it's so demanding. You got to run right up against that wall and get as much speed as you can out of it, or you just got to really push on the bottom and hope the car or the truck doesn't snap on you and exit. And that's really where the challenge lies for all these drivers when they come to a track like Bristol Motor Speedway. Speaking of a track like Bristol Motor Speedway, it is the perfect site to be a cutoff race for the MSRA Truck Series presented by VFW. Here's our playoff standings following 17 races and the round which was last at the Canadian Tire Motorsport Park. Alan Dobbs is the point leader. He has 112 points above the cut line, and he is locked into the next round just by virtue of that. John Gifford, 56 above the cut line. He's essentially locked as well. And now we get to the people who aren't necessarily locked into this next round, but Matt Dyer, you could probably say, is pretty good in that regard. Chris Noble is up there. He has 33 points above the cut line. Matt Knight has 25 above the cut line. Zenla Collins. Now, this is a little bit of a panic zone. If they have a rough race, Zenla Collins could be looking a little rough. He's only 19 above the cut line. John Binder only 15 above the cut line. Chuck Waldrop is 8 above the cut line. But Jacob, how about those that are outside the cut line, and then those who aren't even really running in the playoffs? What can they do on the other side?
Yeah, for Greg Newsom and Bill Dolph, it's all about consistency here. Especially at Bristol, you got to be fast. You want to get yourself in. Greg Newsom has a chance to get to Chuck Waldrop. Waldrop only 8 points out, so Newsom has a chance. Bill Dolph is a little on the iffier side. I don't know if he really has a chance to get there, but if some things fall in his lap, he's going to be able to get there. And then we go back to Robert Anderson and Clement, who are out of the playoffs, and I don't think they're racing much. I think they're just racing for fun at this point.
Yeah, and most of that list on the right side, you're going to see him very spotty. I know Justin Carey is in attendance tonight, and he should be able to close the gap he has to, I believe that is Rick Webb up ahead of him, and Hex Valentine. He's not in tonight. I'm looking actually at the list now of drivers. I only think I see Michael Sestini that are of the drivers who are not in the playoffs that is in. And then a couple others. Well, of course, we'll go through the entire field. Corey Hassler, there in 18th, is also in. There's a little bit of a battle there for 17th in points. And again, they're all battling because if they show up and they keep themselves in it, they could still be the driver to finish 5th in the standings as well. But of course, this race is all about, can Chuck Waldrop stay in? Does Greg Newsom have what it takes to overcome that 8-point deficit? Or does John Binder maybe have something that happen to him? He only has 15 above the cut line. Bill Dolph will be hoping for a miracle, 17 back. All of that to look out for and more as we head into tonight's race. We're going to step aside real quick. We'll be back on the far side with the rest of coverage here from the Bristol Motor Speedway for round 18 of 22 of the Midwest Sim Racing Association Truck Series presented by VFW. Don't you go anywhere. We'll be back on the far side.
Sound art is a product that is a speaker and it's art. We combine it together and we call it sound art. What makes it so unique that any picture can be your speaker? Sound art gives you the high quality sound without the ugly speaker. This isn't a picture with a speaker, the picture is the speaker. Just imagine your wedding picture uploaded onto a canvas and now it's speaking 10,000 tunes. I mean, it's a very cool concept. What we like so much about it is you can take anything that means something very special to you, upload it on the canvas, have it hanging up in your room, your balcony, wherever you want to put it, and now it's a speaker. I mean, how cool is that? It's something that we have that and no one has. No one has this product. It's just a great gift to give anybody. It's just a neat concept. Around here we say, art never sounded so good.
Have you found yourself trying to hide your joy because you're unhappy with your teeth? Your smile is the first feature noticed in an interview, on a date, or in family photos. We want you to be able to shine bright as your best self, and our teeth whitening system is the perfect step toward restoring your confidence.
Welcome, race fans, back to the virtual Bristol Motor Speedway. Again, we're here for round 18 of 22, playoff race 3 of 7 for the Midwest Sim Racing Association Truck Series, presented by VFW. Once again, tonight, I am joined with Jacob Zala on the commentary with me, Trey Shuttles on our social media coverage tonight, and myself, Emerson Arden. Again, if you want to join our PitStop TV crew, please send an email to andrew@pitstoptv.com. If you so wish, if you have social media or broadcasting experience, or if you don't, we'll try to get you all set up to help us out with some of these broadcasts here at PitStop TV. We'd love to have you. Speaking of which, and all the help we need here and have here at PitStop TV, we got to give a huge shout out to our partners here at PitStop TV and those like our partners, Tucson Sound Art. Your picture, your music. You provide the image that you want, and we will custom create a beautifully framed, high-quality canvas with a built-in Bluetooth speaker. With Sound Art, you get the best of both worlds. Visit TucsonSoundArt.com for additional info and use promo code PitStopTV at checkout and receive 10% off of your purchase. Ever wish you could have a race engineer on speed dial? Well, now you can, thanks to Race Pace, a driver development service and setup shop all in one. Work with Tyler, a real-world race engineer, to step up your game before your next race. Pick up pace with Race Pace. When it comes to your appearance, you deserve the best care that money can buy. With locations in Auburn, Lewiston, Naples, and Saco, Maine, permanent makeup and cryo in Maine owner Ashley Boyer is a certified micropigmentation specialist who provides professional, safe, and personalized services. You can contact Permanent Makeup and Cryo in Maine at permanentmakeupinmaine.com, or you can call or text them at 207-358-86883. Whiplash Media specializes in various sim racing resources, including paint schemes, stream overlays, iRacing camera packs, and more. The official graphic and camera provider of PitStop TV and you can grab your iBroadcast cameras today at www.pitstoptv.com. And of course, got to shout out our friends at BAM Racing Videos. Buy a race fan for the racing communities. Look them up on Facebook. You look at all the neat short track racing content you can see from BAM Racing Videos. And Jacob, we're into the final seconds here of practice, and it is Alan Dobbs, the current driver, at the top of the practice charts. And how do you feel as we get ready to gear up towards qualifying about maybe Dobbs replicating that in qualifying, or somebody else maybe stepping up to the plate when it matters most?
Yeah, and practice is only just the stepping stone of your qualifying time. So practice doesn't really mean much right now with these guys and their times. Like, you really have to push in qualifying. So we'll see if Alan Dobbs can replicate that and put himself back on the pole here, or if he just he messes up, that makes a mistake, and maybe somebody else nabs the pole. But it's Alan Dobbs, and Alan Dobbs has 8 wins in the MSRA Truck Series, so I don't know if that's gonna happen tonight. Sorry, boys.
Well, I guess we're just going to have to find out. We have a 5-minute session on our hands, and now we do have a driver taking to the track. It is the 53 of Chris Noble working his way on the pit exit now. The Chris Noble, the Texan, works his way onto the back straightaway. And Jacob, do we see drivers maybe using that high side, or maybe foregoing their first lap, or giving it all in their first lap?
So I think some drivers will forego their first lap. It just depends on how you drive, how you feel. If it were me, I would definitely forego the first lap and go for the second lap. But some of these drivers may think they get a faster lap on the first one. So Chris Noble here coming to the line, we'll see what he gets for a time. I believe that is a 14.8. So not too bad. Puts him on pole at the moment.
We're going to go on board with Bill Dolph, who needs a good run tonight to make it into the next round of playoffs, and he's going to abort the lap he is on to try to reset and get himself another lap. Let's see if we can catch up with Greg Newsom, who is now on a timed lap. Oh, and he puts it in the wall.
That is something you don't want to see there for Greg Newsom. If I were him right now, I'd pull off, but he's not going to. He's going to try and go for a second lap and see if he can get a better run, because he's going to use that high side all the way up the track. I don't know about that and how fast it's going to get him, but we'll see what time he gets as he draws the line.
Greg Newsom will put it, looks like it'll be 4th quickest, 2 spots ahead of Chuck Waldrop, who he crosses the line, and Chuck Waldrop will keep it, he'll put it 6th quickest, and he'll stay 6th quickest. Bill Dolph will go 7th out of 7.
Well, as we were talking there, it looks like our Alan Dobbs has snuck in there and got a pole without us even noticing it.
He has gone to provisional pole, but there's still 3 minutes left, and drivers that can come and disrupt some things. John Gifford puts it 6th quickest after his first lap. Let's see what he does on his second. Oh, he's sideways!
Sideways, no! That is going to hurt John Gifford, and I think his chance for the pole is done at that point. He's just going to stop in pit road and pull off. And man, what could have been for John Gifford? Just the car just got right under him, and he couldn't save it from there.
Now we have Matt Knight taking to the track. He puts it 4th quickest out of 11 thus far. Working his way now on his second lap. Matt Knight out of turn 4 to the line. Matt Knight improves. No, he does not. He'll stay 4th quickest.
Yeah, Matt Knight not doing anything to improve his time there, but still 4th quickest is not too bad for Matt Knight as we look at Caleb Smith now running the bottom line. We'll see what he can do. He hits the apron a little bit, and he's going to run the bottom.
I think he just ran his second lap. So he has put it 5th quickest out of 13 times. With 2 minutes left in the session, we still have Corey Hassler and Michael Sestini to take to the track, which means we have 15 drivers out on the track. And looks like Chuck Waldrop is actually still out there getting some practice reps, I'd imagine. Nope, he'll come to a complete stop now. And yeah, Chuck Waldrop comes to a stop there on the back straightaway. 90 seconds left in the session. Nobody else taking to the track. So real quick, I do want to shout out, I guess, what we had and what we have coming up on the channel. Last night we had the Outlaw Sim Series at New Hampshire. Greg Holt took his 2nd win on the season And it was his home track, and Greg Holt, I believe, took over the point lead yesterday by a very slim margin after point leader Joseph Causey got into some trouble on one of the middle of the race restarts that set him back. There was a 27-point deficit for Holt coming into yesterday's race, and he has since overcome that. Tonight, of course, is the Midwest Sim Racing Association Truck Series from the Bristol Motor Studio. Tomorrow, the Midwest Sim Racing Association National Series takes to the same track as they get ready to gear up for the playoffs over there. And Tuesday night, we potentially crown a NORC Season 13 champion at the Chicagoland Speedway. Daniel Falkingham has been on an absolute tear. He did not take the dub at Phoenix, but he has such a massive point lead, I think somewhere in the range of 75 points, and he's looking to claim his championship crown at Chicagoland next Tuesday night at 6:40 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Before we get ready to grid up here, let's take a look at the weather coming into today's race. It is 68 degrees, the air temp 71 degrees, the track temp 2 mile/hour wind. So basically, Jacob, a very cool, grippy track on the concrete at Bristol.
Yeah, that track is ready for these trucks to drive on it for 200 laps as we make our way in the MSRA Truck Series. And a cool track is always what you want to see. I think cool tracks are definitely better than hotter tracks. The tires grip up quicker and things get a little under control easier. But these drivers, again, with it being Bristol, and their trucks will be a little bit loose tonight. They're just gonna have to make sure they keep it clean and get these 200 laps underway, and that's about it for them.
Well, we will see how they get ready to embark on their 200 lap affair tonight on the high banks at Bristol with our starting lineup. Round number 1, it'll be 8-time race winner on the season, Alan Dobbs, and to his outside will be the 82 of John Gifford. Round number 2, it'll be the 21 of Justin Carey, one of the drivers who are on the playoffs right now, trying to play a little playoff spoiler with Zendla Collins to his outside, the 29. Round number 3, it'll be Caleb Smith in the 12, Matt Knight in the 11. Round number 4, Chris Noble in the 53, Greg Newsom in the 23, looking to make some hay here. 8th place, he needs 8 points over Chuck Waldrop to make it in. We'll be watching that all night, especially with the stages. In row number 5, Matt Dyer and John Binder make up that row. Jacob?
Row number 6, we have Bill Dolphin and Richard Clement. Row number 7 is Chuck Waldrop and Castle. And rounding out the field tonight is Michael Sestini in the 15th. He will be the lone car by himself as we go through this one.
In the field, getting ready to get up to speed here real quick. Let's take a look at the standings one more time before we kick it off tonight. John Binder, 15 points above the cut line. Zendla Collins, 19 points above the cut line. Chuck Waldrop, though, 8 above. Greg Newsom, 8 back. Bill Dolph, 17 back. Jacob, I have to put you on the spot now. Who's in, who's out at the end of 200 laps tonight?
At the end of 200 laps, I think Chuck Waldrop is out. Newsom's in.
Intriguing. We will have to see how it all plays out in tonight's race because we have 2 stages that are also going to award points, which will be something to watch out for as well. Stages will be awarded at the completion of lap 55 and the completion of lap 110. And a caution will be thrown after each stage as well, so we can re-rack them and restack them and get them ready for action once again. But here we go. Race 18 of 22, playoff race 3 of 7. The elimination race at the end of round number 1 for the Midwest Sim Racing Association Truck Series presented by VFW. The field of 7.5 rows deep full of trucks as the iRacing.com pace vehicle pulls off into the safety of pit lane. We're racing from Thunder Valley. A quiet first lap has Alan Dobbs the early advantage here at Bristol. He has about 0.2 of a second over John Gifford. And now we got the battle back here. This is Caleb Smith getting overtaken here by Chris Noble side by side for 5th.
And it looks like Chris Noble is going to get around him there, and they're still going to be battling side by side because it is hard to get clear of someone at Bristol. You're going to be battling side by side a lot tonight, but Chris Noble will get around Caleb Smith there, and he will take his 5th place.
Bill Dolph falling back quickly here. One of those drivers needing a good run tonight to make it in to the next round. Bill Dolph loses 2 spots there. Richard Clement getting overtaken here by the 25 of Corey Hassler, but he fights back for 12th.
Corey Hassler looking to get to the inside. Can he get it done? It does look like he's going to be able to. He gets loose off of 4 there, and it looks like Richard Clement will keep the spot for the moment. But Corey Hassler looking to pressure Richard Clement.
How about Greg Newsom outside looking in, coming into today's race, and he goes fast this early here at Bristol.
Yeah, Greg Newsom is a driver with a lot of talent. I mean, he's already got a crinkled back end there, so somebody got into contact with him early on into this one, and that doesn't matter too much in these trucks, but it's definitely gonna make that truck a little bit looser as things go on.
Well, remember, Greg Newsom was pretty sporty in qualifying, but he caught the wall out of turn number 2. We got a battle up here, and the 21 is loose sideways. It's Justin Carey.
Caution is out.
Oh, wrecking in the back. Oh, the 33 of John Binder involved. Matt Knight involved.
Actually, that is Matt Dyer.
Matt Dyer. Well, Matt Knight is also involved.
Matt Knight is involved too. Okay, there he is, and both Matts getting in it. That's insane. That is 3 of our playoff drivers right there. This is a cut line race. This doesn't help them for sure, but I mean, I think these guys are all right, but still, that is definitely going to hurt.
Well, let's try to figure out and see what had happened here. This is Matt Knight on the inside of the 2 of Matt Dyer. Off of turn number 4, they just come together. Oh, a little bit of net code doesn't help him out there. Matt Knight slams the inside wall, and oh no, the 06 of Bill Dolph nowhere to go. That's going to hurt his chances early making it to the next round.
Yeah, that doesn't look too good for the 06 truck of Bill Dolph. It was short-lived, but I mean, if he doesn't have too much engine damage, he should be decently able to continue this one. And I don't know, we'll have to find out how his truck is holding up.
We're going to ride on board here with the 06 of Bill Dolph. I don't expect pit stops to happen this early into the race. So I don't believe we're going to miss much by taking a couple extra replays here. But Bill Dolph, one of the drivers in the playoffs, looking for a good run. See the contact there. They collect that 33 truck, and Bill Dolph just nowhere to go. And he gets hit as well by that orange truck behind him. Is that Sestini? That is not Sestini.
That is Corey Hassler.
Ah, all right. It is Corey Hassler. But again, I think the most notable name in that, in terms of who's going to make it in or who's not going to make it into the next round of playoffs, it was Bill Dolph in that incident. Hoping that Bill Dolph is able to continue on tonight.
Yeah, we definitely hope so. And it looks like, I don't know, I can't tell right now if he's done or if he's staying, but what an insane incident on lap 10 there that could potentially take out Bill Dolph here tonight.
Absolutely, and also on the pit lane, Matt Knight and Matt Dyer. John Binder's just leaving the pit lane. John Binder also got unfortunately collected in that when Matt Dyer spun down the racetrack. Chuck Waldrop was behind all that, but look at his truck. It's all clean. He did not get involved in that incident.
No, he did not, and Bill Dolph is 2 laps down, so I think that's going to end his night and his chances for the playoffs tonight. But we still have a battle right now, Emerson. We have Chuck Waldrop and Greg Newsom battling for that final spot in the playoffs.
And of course, it was an 8-point gap coming into today's race. And very well, this gap can fluctuate throughout the night. So we'll try our best to keep up with it and keep tabs on Alan Dobbs. Look at all those winner stickers on the bottom side of his window net there.
Yeah, I don't think he had enough room on the top side of the door, so he had to put him on the bottom side to make sure he got every single winner sticker on. And Alan Dobbs, he has a lot of great wins and a lot of wins here tonight, and he's looking to get his 9th win on the season in the MSRA Truck Series. So we'll see if he can get that done here at the Last Great Coliseum. It's a hard track to win at, but once you get it right, you should be able to do things great. As we look here, I don't know if the pace lights are off on the pace truck. It looks like they are.
So we are getting ready to get back to racing here at the virtual Bristol Motor Speedway. There's still 13 trucks on the racetrack, 12 on the lead lap. The iRacing.com safety truck pull off into the safety pit lane. The field back in the hands of Alan Dobbs, and we are green from Bristol. Alan Dobbs again, the race leader after that lap, but here comes Greg Newsom, cleared into the 6th position in the battle up ahead between Zenla Collins and Chris Noble, going toe-to-toe as they work their way through 3 and 4. Oh, and Noble!
Oh, no!
Oh, and a 12!
Oh! Chris Noble and Caleb Smith in that incident.
Oh, my goodness. And I don't think anyone else got involved, which is lucky for the rest of the field, but they are dropping like flies, and that truck is destroyed for the 12 of Caleb Smith.
Yeah, that was definitely not a happy accident there. Definitely something happened between Chris Noble and I believe he was battling with Caleb Smith there. And I guess it looked like he got a little loose and got into the wall and just couldn't get it back to where he needed it to be. Oh, he was fighting with Zenla Collins, sorry.
Yeah, so Noble was fighting Zenla Collins. It didn't make apparent contact on that initial look. We'll take another look at it. We'll actually try to ride on board here with Caleb Smith to see what he could see as well and all that. So here we go. We're on board with Caleb Smith off of turn 2. You see Zenla Collins on the left. Oh, Noble nearly made contact there, entering turn 3, but out of 4. I think maybe that's a lot of netcode.
Yeah, that looks like a lot of netcode, and that's an issue with iRacing, and when, you know, your IPs don't add up and things like that, the internet doesn't add up, and it just creates a bubble and gets you loose and gets you around, and it's unfortunately it tagged Chris Noble there, and it pretty much ended his night and Caleb Smith's night.
I want you to watch here Greg Newsom and how close his chance to make it into the next round of playoffs was nearly ended. Oh my goodness.
Oh, goodness. That could have ended his night for sure, but what a way to make it around somehow. Greg Newsom, I applaud you on that one.
And that's just how quick things can happen at Bristol. And very fortunately, he was very, very lucky at that to stay in this race without much issue. He's now at 4th, actually.
Yeah, he's doing really well for himself right now, and, you know, I don't know where the points will line up. If he gets this 4th place in stage points, and Waldrop is 11th right now. I don't know how stage points in MSRA works, but what I can tell you is those stage points in 4th will be better than what Chuck Waldrop were to get in 11th, if he gets any.
So we continue on here at the Bristol Motor Speedway. Let's see if we can maybe get a word in there and here and try to see if we can talk to the 23 of Newsom. I think that was a little ambitious. Trying to see here who we can talk to then. I don't know. I think we're running out of time here, though, and with the very short pace left. So that Alan Dobbs is your race leader over John Gifford, Zenla Collins, Greg Newsom, Justin Carey, the top 5, Corey Hassler, Richard Clement, Michael Sestini, John Binder, Chris Noble, the top 10, Chuck Waldrop, the last truck on the lead lap. Matt Dyer is 1 lap down, Caleb Smith 3 down, Matt Knight is 10 down, and Bill Dolph is 12 laps down at the completion of lap 20.
Yeah, a lot of cars hurt here, and that's what happens at Bristol. You know, Bristol is a fast track and a loose track, and, you know, some things happen, and you get wrecked, and that ends your day, but especially with Bill Dolph being 17 behind the cut, that's going to end his chances on making it into the next round for sure. He's not going to be able to make it now, but one wreck could hurt your entire playoffs.
VIRacing.com safety vehicle finds the safety in the pit lane. We're going early. We're back to racing at Bristol. Alan Dobbs again, the race leader. He opens up his advantage over John Gifford and Greg Newsom, looking to find his way onto the podium around the outside of Zenla Collins off of turn 4, near contact, but Newsom is cleared onto the podium.
It's getting ever so tight for that 3rd place spot, but Greg Newsom doing a really good job to make sure he can get some playoff points and running down John Gifford and Alan Dobbs. Alan Dobbs has not pulled away from Gifford at all as he has been before. They are neck and neck right now, these guys.
Riding off the rear end here of Alan Dobbs. You can see John Gifford trying to find his way to the outside, and Newsom wants to take it even higher. Off of turn 4, here comes the over-under. Here comes Gifford to the inside, near contact, and sideways is the 82.
No! What a save there from John Gifford, but that got really tight really quick. That's going to put Greg Newsom in second, and Gifford's going to lose a couple spots. Grab a gear and go, and see if he can get those spots back.
What's important here now is Chris Noble is on the pit lane, and that truck looks hurt. For that 53 truck, and he's just going to park it. Chuck Waldrop is now into stage points. He is 10th, which is 1 point. Greg Newsom gets 9, which right now, Jacob, 9 minus 1. What is that?
That is 8. So you know what that means? I think that would be a tie. I'm not too sure.
They're tied.
Yep. I am not a mathematician, so that would make them tied, and then it would be, I don't know how they do this again, but he's going to do everything he can to get those stage points, try and get Alan Dobbs. I think here, Greg Newsom's looking to try and get Alan Dobbs to get the most points he can in the stage.
Oh, absolutely. 110%. If he can get there, not only would it be to give him some points to try to make it to the next round, but if he makes that next round, what kind of momentum would it be to get it done at Bristol? And there's only 4 races left before the championship.
Yeah, that would bring a lot of momentum to the plate of the 23 of Greg Newsom, and he's 0.4 of a second off of Dobbs right now, but he's been going to that high lane. I haven't really, I guess, seen that a lot in the well, actually, I can't say I have. I had done it before in the trucks, but that high lane is definitely going to help him, and we'll see what he can do as this race goes on, as we see Corey Hassler there.
And Corey Hassler got passed there by John Gifford and Justin Carey. So Gifford working his way forward after the slide. He knows he's better than a 4th place truck, and he's going to try to show it. We have a stage caution coming up in about 22 laps time. When Alan Dobbs crosses the line, it'll be 22 laps from the stage yellow. And he's starting to open up the gap a little bit to Greg Newsom, and Richard Clement has gone around John Binder here for the 7th position.
Yeah, they're side by side right now, and John Binder, after getting into that first strike, is still out here running in. About to be, what is that, 7th? About to be 7th place right now, and he gets clear, but he's going to try and do a crossover. He can't get it done. So what a run Binder's had, even though he's gotten into that first wreck. Oh, he gets into the wall there, I think.
Man, oh man, that was very close there. Sorry, that was John Binder, I was trying to look at there. And what could have been, that could have been a whole lot worse. Wow, words. Zedla Collins has gotten by Greg Newsom, though. Newsom maybe using his stuff up a little too early.
Yeah, and that's the issue with running that top side at Bristol. That top side definitely eats your tires up, and he was using that top side a whole lot, and I think he's eating his tires, and especially at a concrete track like this, it eats up tires even worse than any other track that you would go to.
And you know what? Maybe the main mission for Chuck Waldrop is just to stay on the lead lap to try to take advantage of anything like this, because say Greg Newsom continues his free fall through the field, which if he gets past here, they're no longer at a tie when he was in second, because Waldrop gets that 1 point. Right now, Newsom's looking to close that gap, but it's not anything. Nothing's for certain right now, and especially you got to remember that last stint of the race is 90 laps.
Yeah, I think what Newsom needs to do, I think he needs to try a new line, get off the top lane, and go somewhere else, because running that top line is not helping him whatsoever on the longer run. It's only a short run idea, and right now, as you can see, using that top lane is making a free fall. So I think he's going to have to try the Alan Dobbs line at this point, go to the bottom and run the bottom the entire time, because look at how much time Alan Dobbs has gained on the field by running just the bottom line alone.
John Gifford will work his way past Zenla Collins for the 2nd position, but you're right, and Greg Newsom's getting past again now. This is John Binder. Greg Newsom, he was looking like a surefire favorite to make it into the next round of the playoffs. Now I'm not so sure.
Yeah, at this point now, I'm not sure if he's going to even make it in. This line he's running is not helping him. Like I said earlier, I keep kind of saying it. I said it earlier, it's not helping him, but he was the favorite, and it's looking not so hot right now, and he's just got to keep going and try and get those stage points.
Absolutely, a lot's going on here. Looks like Richard Clement has powered by Sestini. Sestini trying to get back to the inside here, and this is going on for the 8th position. Things have tightened up front, though, between Zenla Collins and Justin Carey, who are right behind John Gifford.
Well, look at John Gifford. He had a slide off a 2 and dropped down to, I believe, 6th or 7th, and already back in 2nd place. That truck must be feeling good for him, even though he had that little incident there. And the tires, I don't know how he was able to get back up here with those tires being heated up so much, but what a job done by John Gifford.
And John Gifford doing a phenomenal job to get back up here. Comes Zenla Collins to the inside. He couldn't get down there, but he sure tried. John Binder inserts himself into this battle for 2nd.
Yeah, this battle for 2nd is getting heated up at the moment, and it looks like Justin Carey trying to nudge his way in there. He's not going to get it this time, and it's hard to pass at Bristol. It is one of the hardest tracks to pass at on the NASCAR schedule.
Oh, to the outside! Oh! Near contact there.
Yeah, what a save that was by John Gifford to not get looped around this time. But man, that was ever so close. Zenla Collins gonna do it again. Can he get past him on the outside? He's gonna try it. He's gonna do the new subline.
He's got him.
He's gonna take 2nd.
Collins up to 2nd. We got 6 laps to go in stage number 1. Here comes Binder.
I don't know what happened to Gifford there. It looks like everybody's running the outside. The outside is going to work, obviously, on the shorter runs. So these guys were saving up their tires probably and running it, giving that shorter run a good shot. But look at this. Greg Newsom on the clutches of Corey right here, and Matt Knight behind him, which Matt Knight isn't for position. But Corey Hassler trying to get another spot and make Newsom have to work even harder throughout this race to get to the cutoff.
4 laps to go in the stage for this battle, and now Matt Knight looking to work his way by. Alan Dobbs takes 3 laps to go here in stage number 1. 2.7 seconds his advantage, and he's got the 4 of Richard Clement right in front of him. And you know what that means? Chuck Waldrop is gaining another spot. So Newsom is only gaining 3 points on Chuck Waldrop right now, which if they were to stay like that, and that means if Newsom's able to hold on to Corey Hassler with 2 laps to go now in the stage, he's only going to gain 3 points, which is going to make it a 5-point deficit, and that's not guaranteed that he'll get all 5 points.
Yeah, this is true. You may not get the 5 points that you need to get in. You could, but it's never guaranteed. It's no money back guarantee basically on that one. As we see them come to the line for the end of the stage, Alan Dobbs will be your stage 1 winner.
Alan Dobbs gets the stage, wins. Zenla Collins 2nd. Justin Carey, a last lap dive, will get to 3rd. Greg Newsom will hold on for 6th. And Chuck Waldrop, we're waiting for him to cross the line. He'll cross the line in 9th, which means Newsom is now out by 5.
So I think what Newsom needs to do here is rethink his strategy on tire saving and try and save those tires up better and see if he can gain spots, but then save your tires while doing it so that he can get himself into the playoffs. Because right now, like you said, Emerson, only a 5-point gap.
So the field coming around the front straightaway here, and I'd imagine in turn 2, actually there's some takers to pit lane back there. Intriguing. Maybe Dobbs feels track position is key. He's going to stay out with Zenla Collins, Justin Carey. This is going to be intriguing. No, or they have to pit over here in turn 2. Uh-oh, I mean, there might have been some confusion.
Looks like they might have to pit over here in turn 2. I'm not too sure, but I guess it looks like they're doing that. So, yeah, I think maybe there's some confusion.
Unless their pit boxes are just on that side of the racetrack, which I guess that could also be possible there. These guys are taking the long way around, and the others took the short way, so John Gifford might end up being the leader by that rule.
It depends on what they call, because there also could be a violation for that, but I'm not too sure about how it goes.
I don't know how that's going to be scored, but at the moment, John Gifford is the leader if he does not get penalized. But I'd imagine race control, and I'd imagine Alan Dobbs is probably going to say something about it, like, hey, I should be, at least, wherever I come off the pit lane right now.
Yeah, and as we were looking there, I've seen Alan Dobbs blip up and say something, so he's definitely going to talk about it to the race control, so I don't know where he will be as he gets out of pit lane here, but we'll see where they score, these drivers.
Well, I know where he will be. He will be here in the booth talking to us because he has absolutely dominated that first stage. Alan Dobbs, we come back to this series. You're an 8-time winner. You dominate the stage. It's like we never left, man. How's it going?
Not too bad, man. Good to see y'all back.
Absolutely. It looked pretty hectic for every spot that wasn't first. How was your drive out there? I guess passing some of the damaged trucks and lapping a couple.
I mean, it's just, I mean, we had John Gifford there on us for a while. I'm not sure exactly what happened to him, but he's got a fast truck tonight. But we're apparently about to figure out what it's like to drive in traffic because apparently we had a single or a dual pit road entry instead of a single pit road entry. So I've just been given an EOL for entering the pit road on the wrong side. So this is fun.
Well, we were gonna ask that, and what's the ruling on that? Because we saw Gifford and a couple others pit there off turn 4, and you and the other half of the field pitted in turn 2. So it seems like there wasn't some clear communication between the admins and y'all. But what say you?
I mean, I guess it is what it is. Anything can happen when you're racing, so we'll just have to take it and try to work our way back up to the front, not get wrecked. That's the hope.
Right on, Alan. Well, before we let you go here, actually, y'all are getting ready to go back to racing. So we'll talk to you a little bit later, Alan Dobbs. Hopefully we are anyway.
All right, thank you, guys.
Yeah, good luck, Alan.
And that, again, was the 22 of Alan Dobbs. And the iRacing.com pace vehicle finds the safety pit lane. We're back to racing here at Bristol. First lap complete. That Alan Dobbs is not the leader, and that is John Gifford out in front. Virtue of a confusing sort of pit lane ruling there. Greg Newsom finds himself in the second position. Then it's Zenla Collins, Corey Hassler, Justin Carey now trying to pass Sestini here. Oh, Sestini in the wall!
Oh, no!
Oh, wrecking! I said that was Corey Hassler, but Sestini is in the wall.
Yeah, Sestini got into the wall there, but it looks like, or sorry,
Sorry, I got them confused, and you're getting them confused because I got them confused. But Hassler got to the wall as a result of the battle with Carey, and we're going to watch Michael Sestini here and see what happened to bring out the yellow. He just gets loose.
Yeah, he just...
Oh, no, nowhere for Matt Knight.
Well, I mean, hey, at least Matt Knight was 10 laps down, so I mean, it didn't really hurt much, but still, definitely rough for Matt Knight there. You know, he's a great person, and, you know, really does a lot of things for MSRA, and he's a great driver, and it just sucks for him to be in that one, but let's take a look at it from Chuck Waldrop's view.
And again, Chuck Waldrop just trying to stay back here, keep the truck clean, but off of turn 4, truck spins up ahead of him. You'll see if there collects Matt Knight. Where do you go? Where do you go? If you're in a 7 truck, just stop getting up there. Keep on going.
Yeah, hey, that's what I would have done. So good job on him to not be able to miss that wreck. If I were him, I would have done the same thing, especially now being 5 points ahead of the cut. If you wreck out now, your playoff hopes are gonna be over because you assume that Greg Newsom will at least finish in the top 10.
Well, now I feel inclined to bring up the driver of the number 82, John Gifford, into the booth and ask, well, what say you about all the pit entry rules that happened there during the stage break?
Yeah, that kind of caught me a little off guard. I didn't even know anything about it. I just saw an orange cone and it said pit lane was open, so I went in. Just got lucky.
Well, it seems like there wasn't a clear line of communication on what pit lane was going to be used under caution here, but nonetheless, it looks like you have lucked out and found yourself here in the race lead. We know I mean, I say you lucked out to get the spot, but we've seen you be fast all race, except there towards the end of the stage. It seemed like you were kind of at the mercy of the other drivers once they got to your outside. Why was that?
Well, earlier in the run there, I stuck my nose under Dobbs, and he chopped me off, and I got sideways on the apron, and probably put a little bit too much heat in the rear tires, slid back to like 6th, and then ran my way back through the field and just burned my tires up getting back through there.
Well, now you have some clean air, fresh tires, as if it never happened. You have a driver to your outside who's hungry to find his way into the next round of playoffs, and Greg Newsom. And then, you know, some people you raced around hard with, Zenla Collins, Sean Binder right behind, Dobbs and Carey. How does it feel now to kind of be on the opposite end of that, where you're the one playing defense instead of trying to be the one on offense?
Yeah, I'm not too concerned about that. Now that I've got the fresh air and I've got that little bit of an advantage for the restart, I'm pretty confident in what I'll be able to come away with at the end of this one.
Well, John, before we let you go, we're going to give you the floor here to shout out. Who are we going to shout out? Thank you. We're going to thank for your great run-in thus far.
Mostly team owner David Centeni. Shout out 33rd Brigade Gaming Community. John Verga for the setup, and MSRA for putting on the show.
Absolutely. Well, John, we're going to leave you back too. We're going to bring you back down to your team. Best luck to you, driver. Hopefully we'll talk to you more later on in this race.
Yep, thank you.
Driver of the number 82, John Gifford. And the iRacing.com safety vehicle will find its safety in the pit lane. We are back to racing at Bristol. Up at turn number 4, John Gifford is not alone. He's got Greg Newsom to his outside.
Yeah, Greg Newsom battling there, having a good run truck right now. But again, like I said, that top line isn't helping him whatsoever with those tires. We'll see what he can do. Maybe he'll try and make a pass on the outside, side by side, just a tiny bit. Not going to be able to clear him, and it's looking like, oh, I think he got into the wall there.
Newsom catches the wall. He's dropping back. Here comes Sean Bitter. Contact. Newsom's going to lose even more time. Here comes the 21 of Justin Carey.
Oh, man. Greg Newsom made a mistake that's going to hurt him. And look right there in your view. You see the 7 truck of Chuck Waldrop. There he is. He is hunting down Greg Newsom to try and pass him and make sure that Greg Newsom can't make his way into the next round.
How about Zenla Collins running the fastest lap as he tries to chase down John Gifford for the race lead. And again, Newsom, Waldrop, there's only 2, that's only 2 points Newsom gets on Waldrop, which makes it a 3-point deficit if the stage finishes the way it is. We're racing to the completion of lap 110 here for stage number 2.
Alex Bob got into John Bender. John Bender's around.
Oh, Greg Newsom is in it. Oh, no! Big impact there for Sestini. I'm sorry, the Tassler.
Corey Hassler with a big hit there. Yeah, like, wow. Things just unfolded really quick.
And that's how quickly things can happen at Bristol. It's almost got that Dover kind of feel. When something happens, there's kind of nowhere to go. Especially, and I'd say Bristol is kind of a smaller version of Dover. Maybe a more wicked version of that. But here we go. Off of turn 4. I guess this is one lap too soon. We'll watch it through anyway. This is John Binder in front of Alan Dobbs. Alan Dobbs trying to get back to the race lead. Oh, and he just drives through him. Nowhere for the 21 to go. Newsom gets some damage there. And oh my goodness, Corey Hassler, slow down.
Yeah, I think he was trying to full throttle it through and thought he could make it, and he didn't have enough space to make it and got into John Binder there. But I don't know, man, what an insane incident that was as we saw Alan Dobbs get in there a little too deep and just got right into Binder.
Check it out. Here's the wreck and just nowhere to go. Oh my. It's just a blind corner at that.
Well, Emerson, we come back to the MSRA Truck Series. We leave the MSRA National Series last week at Daytona with 2 flips by the same driver. We come back to the Truck Series and there's almost a flip here.
I cannot believe it. We're gonna watch here off the roof of Newsom. And the spinning truck comes down the track, just nowhere to go. Now, that's not too hurt, especially at a track like Bristol, but it's not going to help, as Waldrop is actually ahead of him as well.
Yeah, it hurt him in one for sure. That wreck, it didn't need to go towards him, and it just did. Nowhere to go, and this might hurt his chances to get into the second round.
And there it is, the wrecked number 23 of Greg Newsome, sporting the Atlanta Falcons colors, the Atlanta Falcons logo there on the deck lid of the truck there. Again, NFL season just began this past weekend, week 1. I know you and I, big football fans, were ready to see football back in action, and I'm sure he was as well to see his Falcons play. Unfortunately, not the outcome that he wanted by any means of that week 1, and looking like potentially not the outcome he wants in this race as well.
Yeah, and I think running that Falcons paint scheme definitely didn't help him in this one, but it looks like his truck is decently fixed up now, so we'll see what he can salvage from it.
So here we are, we're already getting ready to get back to racing here at Bristol. The lights are off on the safety truck, and there is only 8 trucks on the lead lap. And Greg Newsome is 7th out of 8. Chuck Waldrop is 5th. The iRacing.com safety vehicle finds its safety in the pit lane, and the field in the hands of John Binder. We're racing once again from Bristol. Bad restart from Zenla Collins.
It's 3 wide racing there.
And they're going 3 wide in the heart of the pack. Everybody sorts it out, and it is John Gifford and Alan Dobbs with a large margin over Zenla Collins and the rest of the pack.
Now we'll see if Alan Dobbs can charge down John Gifford and get the lead back. But again, Bristol is hard to pass. Greg Newsome passing Chuck Waldrop there, but this doesn't help. He needs to gain more spots.
Right, now that's only 4 points to Greg Newsome's deficit to Chuck Waldrop. He's only put it in the wall there. Here comes John Gifford now under attack from Alan Dobbs. This is the first time Dobbs has been behind Gifford today. We'll see how this battle goes over.
Yeah, I think what Alan Dobbs has to do here is try and run the Greg Newsome line to, get to John. Maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong. Let me stop talking and let Alan Dobbs do the work here.
Yeah, I guess he's an 8-time race winner for a reason. You know what he's trying to do? He's trying to diamond the track, but only on that bottom side.
Yeah, he's only using that bottom side. He's not going up. He's going to go a little bit. I guess he's diamonding the corners just a little bit. And he's going to take a little bit of my advice, move up a little bit to try and get some clean air to get back to John Gifford.
Well, and that's how the way things go, just in almost any sort of motorsport, as Justin Carriage just passed Richard Clement for the 5th position, that number 21 machine. He moves on up to the top 5. Greg Newsome looking to get a spot here from Richard Clement. Clement who catches the wall there. Here we go, into 3.
Now Greg Newsome's going to have to get through Clement. Can he get through Clement and keep his tires under control? And it's looking like he's doing it so far. And it's going to be a tight squeeze. He's going to go to the outside.
Oh, man, he catches the wall. Oh, near contact.
No. That was close. And, man, ever so tight. I don't know about running this high side for Greg Newsome.
And it gets scary and scarier the more it happens, but trying to make their way off the corner near contact there. Man, oh man. Newsome is now clear of Clement, which is now 2 points. He has to Chuck Waldrop, which again makes it a 3-point deficit at the end of stage 2, which is still in about 21 laps.
Yeah, and what a run for them so far, but look at John Gifford here leading Alan Dobbs for the moment. Alan Dobbs hasn't seen much from behind anyone all day, so being behind John Gifford is probably opening his eyes up a little bit to what he can do to try and get to him and what he can't do. And
Dobbs catches the wall! Big moment there out of turn number 4. The point leader and the 8-time race winner catches the wall. A battle for 4th now goes on between Dyer and Carey. Carey makes easy work of Matt Dyer.
Almost a little too easy there. Just got that great run and got around Dyer. And it looks like the leaders get by the car of Matt Knight there. But Alan Dobbs putting it into the wall there, probably a product of dirty air. You know, when you're behind someone, you get a little bit of dirty air, and that just pushes you up the track to the wall, so might have just got some dirty air.
Right here off the nose of Alan Dobbs, trying to chase down race leader John Gifford. 15 laps to go in stage 2. You see kind of riding that seam there in the middle of the corner instead of right up against the bottom of the racetrack like Gifford is. That turns to 3 and 4. It's really hard to be heard. Sideways is Dobbs, and catching the wall is Gifford.
Oh man, these guys won it, and they won it bad. I know Alan Dobbs wants to get his 9th win on the season, and John Gifford wants to get his 4th, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. So these guys are going to battle for it, and you know, I wouldn't be surprised if these guys are the two to battle at the end for the championship at the end of this whole MSRA Truck Series.
It would only make sense, I'd say so as well. John Gifford continuing on, opening up the margin a little bit to Alan Dobbs in the center corner, but Dobbs catches corner exit to the straightaway. Corner entry, though. Gifford has got it. I mean, he extends that margin corner entry.
Yeah, that margin is going, and I think that's all due to the fact that Alan Dobbs has some damage. I don't see a lot of damage on John Gifford's truck, so I think that damage that Dobbs has is hurting him as we approach halfway to the end of the race.
Yep, that is the halfway mark. That this race has only been led really by the top 2 drivers, Alan Dobbs and John Gifford. Gifford continuing on his tear through the field, and Chuck Waldrop here is getting ready to make a spot here on Richard Clement, which has not helped Greg Newsom's case.
Yeah, if Waldrop can get this spot, I believe that is 2 points that Newsom has on Waldrop, and that'll bring it to or the other way around, that'll bring it to a 4-point battle.
Right.
At that point.
Right, and right now he'd only have 1 point as an advantage over Waldrop, and yes, that it'll be a 4-point deficit into the final stage of this race.
And again, 4 points is not something that you can guarantee. Like we've said earlier, points are not something that you can guarantee at all. You could wreck out at some point in this race. You just never know what will happen.
Continuing on here again, Chuck Waldrop into the 7th position, Greg Newsom into 6th, and Matt Dyer up the road in 5th. It doesn't look like that battle is going to be changed anytime soon. And now the battle then becomes in the final 6 laps of this stage. Does John Gifford have anything? I'm sorry, does Alan Dobbs have anything for John Gifford?
To be honest, right now, I don't believe he has much for John Gifford. I think that damage is constructing his straightaway speed and what he can do. But he's trying to run that high line, that Greg Newsom line. We've seen Greg Newsom do, I'm going to start calling it that now, the Greg Newsom line, and I don't think it's helping him at all.
I wouldn't say it is really either. And now we're coming around to what would be 3 laps to go here at the Bristol Motor Speedway in stage number 2. John Gifford now approaching some lap traffic. I don't know if they're going to play that much of a factor here. Working our way around a little bit of a turn number 4. John Gifford 2 laps to go as he catches lap traffic. 1 mile left in stage number 2. He has a second advantage over Alan Dobbs. All the gaps around the lead lap have dissipated. And this is Richard Clement going a lap down on the final lap of stage 2.
Wow. That is insane to see. We see one guy go a lap down right there. And, you know, I don't think we expected that at all. These guys are lapping really quick. And I guess it's Bristol, so we'll see. But John Gifford coming around to win stage 2. Alan Dobbs in second.
Absolutely. Gifford with the stage victory. Zenla Collins third. More importantly, Greg Newsom still out there coming off of turn number 4. Greg Newsom will finish 6th in the stage to Chuck Waldrop 7th. The caution will come out. And again, now it's a 4-point deficit Newsom has to Chuck Waldrop. 4 points where there's only 7 trucks on the lead lap. That's a lot of work for Greg Newsom. He can do it. But will he be able to do it?
We'll have to see. He has to get up to second right now. So if he can get to second, which it's going to be hard to do with Alan Dobbs, he can get it done. But we'll see what Greg Newsom can put together here.
I think Newsom's going to have to go on an absolute tear and maybe hope for a little bit of bad luck for Waldrop at that. Pit stop's underway. We'll see what happens as a result.
Oh, Zeno Collins slides through the box there.
And trucks are off there. Jackson, Alan Dobbs wins the race off pit lane.
Wow. Alan Dobbs getting out there, getting that first position back from John Gifford. So now Alan Dobbs will be able to control the race, and we'll see if he can win this thing now that he has the lead in the track position.
Well, look what just happened here. Waldrop stayed out to get a lap led. Which, now that you got to factor that point in, make it another 5-point margin. Newsom hasn't led today. I can't recall if he has.
No, he has not. So that, again, yeah, that's a 5-point deficit right there. And
they're not going to credit him with the lap led for Chuck Waldrop.
Oh, they are not? Okay. So, never mind about that. Throw that whole concept down the window. Or out the window.
But I imagine he tried, but he did not want to stay out there on old tires as well. In case this race gets a little crazy, you want to still be out there with a chance to compete.
I was going to say, if he did get credited with that lap led, at that point, Greg Newsom would have to win the race to make it into the playoffs. And with John Gifford now and Dobbs being the powerhouse, I do not think that would happen tonight unless he goes on an absolute tear. But now it's back to he has to get to second again.
So, working again, the second stage caution of the night. Let's go ahead and look at some of the race info for today's race. We're working our 6th caution of the evening for, at the moment, 29 laps. So we had 2 lead changes today, which I think has only been Alan Dobbs losing the lead to John Gifford at the stage 1 caution, and Alan Dobbs regaining the lead here over John Gifford at the stage 2 caution.
Yeah, and this puts Alan Dobbs in a great position now, and he gets to control the race at John Gifford's demise. So, Alan Dobbs will be able to pick where he wants to restart, and let's see if he can get this thing done now.
And so we have both talked to Alan Dobbs and John Gifford so far in this race. We got another couple cautions. We'll try to pick up a few other drivers to talk to throughout the night. Real quick, let's take a look at the weather thus far. It has not changed one bit since the start of the race. It's still 71 degrees the track temp, 68 degrees the air temp, and still almost 3 mile per hour winds out of northeast. That would be the only change, if at all. But here we go, the field of well, what's left. I think there's about 13 trucks left in the race and about 8 on the lead lap. The field in the hands of Alan Dobbs, and we are back to racing at Bristol. Oh, and around goes the red truck. That's the 2.
Yeah, Matt Dyer getting around there. I know it's a little hard there, but Matt Dyer getting around, and this is going to cause a caution, and we only went at about a half a lap green, maybe even a lap there.
Yeah, Matt Dyer getting contacted from the rear end there. I'd imagine trying to overtake Zenla Collins. We'll watch it here on the replay. Collins down to the inside. You see already a little bit of damage there to the left rear quarter panel and some net code. And that's the second time today that the cautions come out because of net code with Zenla Collins.
Yeah, netcode has just been an issue for Zenla Collins so far. I know that's nothing he can fix or nothing he can do about it, but man, netcode not in Zenla Collins' favor, that's for sure. These drivers are definitely not going to be too happy about it.
Yeah, it's so weird because it's not necessarily the driver's fault, but you can kind of pinpoint where it is. And once again, I mean, it looks like they made contact there, but they did not make contact from the TV camera there between Dyer and Zenla Collins. And I want to take a look and see how the pretty much the 2 bubble drivers had of that incident. I want to see what Greg Newsom had to see out of that incident. Here's the restart. Oh man, and oh man.
He got around that.
Got around through it as well. Wow,
You
wow,
know,
wow.
In the back of Greg Newsom's head, I think he's thinking, come on, Waldrop, get into one of these wrecks. No offense to him or anything, but I just think that's the way he's thinking right now. He's hoping that Chuck Waldrop gets into one of those wrecks so he can get into the second round, but Waldrop able to miss every single wreck that comes into his way. A clean truck, I just don't see how Greg Newsom does it.
I don't either. And another driver who has kind of been around all the action tonight is this 21 Justin Carey. Justin, a very eventful night for you tonight, man. How are you feeling thus far about your truck?
It's not bad. I know I got into Bender there in his wreck, so I got all that fixed and just been trying to get it better. And as soon as I get up in the front, something happens. So it's like I get up to third, and that's when all the stuff breaks loose. So I'm just trying to get up there. I think I've got something to compete with the front too. I've just got to get there. So it should be interesting.
Absolutely. We've kind of seen you kind of work your way up and down this midfield here. And are you on the winter green here? Looks like y'all are.
We are on the one green.
All right, so we're going to give you the floor here to shout out who we're going to shout out. Thank you. We're going to thank for your running thus far.
Mainly just want to thank OPE 22 Racing and then Outlaw Desert Racing for sponsoring the truck and stuff like that. And so hoping to bring them a good finish and kind of be a spoiler. Everybody up here is in the playoffs, so we're going to be a spoiler.
Absolutely. Well, Justin, we'll let you get back to it. Best luck to driver, and hopefully we'll talk to you a little bit more later on.
Absolutely.
Again, driver of the number 21, Justin Carey. They're restarting in 5th. We're back to racing here at Bristol. Alan Dobbs is the race leader, but not by a large margin over John Gifford, trying to put it to him here on lap 124 of 200.
Gifford is all over the back bumper, and he's going to look to the inside of Alan Dobbs. Can he make the pass complete? He's going side by side through turns 1 and 2, and can he get there? He's going to have it by a little bit. Still side by side, and Dobbs is going to try and powerhouse around the outside.
Side by side for the race lead here at Bristol. John Gifford down low. Alan Dobbs up high. Zenla Collins waiting in the wings. Gifford drives it in hard on the bottom side. Dobbs trying to keep the momentum on the outside. Where do you go if you're the 29 of Zenla Collins and you want to move forward? Look at this battle right in front of the 29.
And it looks like Gifford's going to get clear of Alan Dobbs just by inches, so good for Zenla Collins there, but there was not much he could have done there if the leaders are side by side. You know, it's hard to pass at Bristol in the first place. Nowhere he could have went, but they get it singled out for now. So Zenla Collins is going to look in to try and get to second place.
Well, let's look at it now also where Greg Newsom is running. Right now, Newsom is 4th, which will mean that Greg Newsom and Chuck Waldrop are tied for the cut line right now. It'll be interesting to see how it all works out and what the tiebreaker ends up being. I'd imagine the tiebreaker is going to be best finishing around, which we'd let the league admins get back to that to finalize and see who is going to make the next round. And of course, we won't call anything until anything is official. But at the moment, Greg Newsom and Chuck Waldrop are tied at the cut line to see who's going to make it into the next round of playoffs. And near contact there.
Man, Zenla Collins has just been around every contact he can tonight. I don't know if his truck has a magnet on it or what, but this guy has been around contact, with contact, in contact. There's a lot of contact going around Zenla Collins as we see Justin Carey now take to the inside, and this might lose a position for Greg Newsom.
Newsom, for his attack to make it into the next round of the playoffs, needs to hold on to this spot. Carey cannot get around him. We'll file back in line. It's Newsom who holds on to 4th. Carey files back to the outside behind Newsom in 5th.
Greg Newsom needs to get to Zenla Collins once again to at least have hopes of a tiebreaker. And Zenla Collins is looking to the outside of Alan Dobbs, just peeking, but he's not going to be able to get it. As we ride on the backside, the back bumper of Greg Newsom here, and Justin Carey trying to get around him to make it even harder for Greg Newsom to get into the second round.
Carey threw it in there. Carey, like he said in his interview, he's not in the playoffs. He's trying to be a playoff spoiler. He's racing for himself. He's racing to try to get himself a win. And he's certainly not going to get a win if he just rides behind 4th place the rest of the race. So he wants to move forward for his own sake.
Yeah, he's got to do it, and he's got to do it quick. Run lap 136 of 200, so not too many laps to go. But he's going to want, if he wants to win, he's got to do it quickly, as we see the lap truck of Matt Knight here getting passed by Dobbs and Zenola Collins. Oh, man, that was ever so close, but no contact there. Zenola Collins looking to catch Alan Dobbs.
Uh-oh. This is pretty rough timing. Oh, to the inside nearly. It's Justin Carey. As the lap truck there of Matt Knight nearly plays a little bit of a hand there into Carey's favor, as Carey continues to try to rock the rear end of Greg Newsom. And again, at the moment, this is what decides if Newsom is tied for the cut line or is out of the next round of the playoffs. If he holds on to this spot.
Yeah, he's got to hold on. He's got to hold on. But Justin Carey is attacking. He keeps attacking here, and almost gets into him there.
Near contact, but Carey continues to pressure. The 23 continues on his attack.
That attack is just going to keep happening, and Greg Newsom's got to do whatever he can to hold it off, as we see Matt Dyer now getting around, or almost getting passed by Richard Clement here, and Matt Dyer not having a great run for himself, but trying to keep it out there and trying to get as many points as he can.
Side by side into the corner. Here comes Justin Carey trying to clear Newsom. He is clear, which will put Greg Newsom on the outside looking in by 1 point to Chuck Waldrop right now.
Man, and what a playoff spoiler Justin Carey is being right now. You know, like he said, he wanted to be that playoff spoiler. Well, he's doing it right now, and he's hurting Greg Newsom's chances to make it in the second round as we speak.
I just want to check to make sure Greg Newsom has not led a lap as well. So, Newsom, Waldrop have not led laps. Newsom got a few spots on Waldrop in stage 1. In stage 2, he only got 1 more point on Waldrop, which took the deficit from 8 points to 5 points to 4 points. Right now, Newsom is has 3 points over Chuck Waldrop, which will make it a 1 point deficit for Greg Newsom right now. He needs what spot that 21 is holding if he wants to tie Chuck Waldrop at the cut line. But right now, he is 1 point out. Chuck Waldrop just riding around in this race has been enough thus far, and he might get a spot here from Richard Clement to make it a 2 point deficit for Greg Newsom to overcome.
Yeah, and these two have been battling all night, so Chuck Waldrop trying to get that spot again and make it even harder for Greg Newsom to get back in to the playoffs. And it looks like, you know, it just riding around here, riding in the back, not going to attack, is gonna push Chuck Waldrop into the playoffs, as we see the back end there.
Richard Clement going side by side with the 7 of Waldrop, and again, if Waldrop completes this pass, that is now a 2 point deficit Newsom holds. So Newsom's got to get on it. He's got to get a podium if he wants to tie. He's got to get second if he wants to for sure make it into the next round.
Yeah, and with that damage of Newsom, I don't know if it's going to happen, but he's got to be a hard charger. He's got to do what he can to get to that second spot if he wants it in the playoffs.
This is absolutely phenomenal stuff. The math that is at play here with 50 laps to go from the virtual Bristol Motor Speedway. What's also very evident is right here in John Gifford being the race leader. He's got 0.8 of a second over Alan Dobbs out in front of the field. Zella Collins 1.3 back of Alan Dobbs and about 2 seconds back. And oh, here we go. This is the lap truck. That's Matt Knight getting passed by the leader.
And Matt Knight not holding anything for John Gifford. And Alan Dobbs gaining a little bit of time here. We'll see if he can try and track down John Gifford.
Yeah, the timing right there was huge for Alan Dobbs. Dobbs now trying to chase down that race leader. And again, Dobbs dominated the first stage. Then the pit road confusion put Gifford in the lead. And Gifford has dominated since. Now Dobbs has not been able to get his way back. We've seen Dobbs be good in clean air. Dirty air has not been the case for the 22 truck. Gifford has been able to slice and dice his way through traffic. And now Gifford has been on an absolute dominant race with us since the end of stage 1, and he's trying to continue that on. By the way, the battle for 5th has spiced up again because now Greg Newsom is under attack from Matt Dyer.
Yeah, this would hurt Greg Newsom. If he loses the spot here and he's not able to get any more spots, I think it's all said and done. All she wrote for this cutoff battle. At this point, it looks like Dyer's going to go to the inside, almost make contact. He's going to get the spot, and man, I think it's going to be tough for Greg Newsom to get back up there, as he's going to probably keep falling down the order here. And man, what a day for Greg Newsom.
When it comes down to it, I think Greg Newsom's going to need a caution flag to help him out and a couple other things, because Greg Newsom right now in the 6th position is not on pace to make it into the next round of the playoffs. He is 2 points out, and look who's catching. Chuck Waldrop is catching himself. If Chuck Waldrop is able to pass, that's essentially another 2 points, because Waldrop would gain a point and Newsom would lose a point. So that would mean a 4-point deficit if Waldrop can make this pass.
Yeah, we'll see if he can. He's going to go to the inside, dive it in there. He's not going to be able to get it this time, but he's going to keep trying to dive it in there to get that spot. He knows if he gets that spot and he runs away with it, he is for sure in the next round, and we'll see if he can get it done.
Again, this is it right here. This is the difference between a 2-point gap and a 4-point gap for Newsom to make it into the next round of the playoffs. Chuck Waldrop down low, near contact out of turn 2, still side by side.
Yeah, we're going to see side by side sliding off the corner, still side by side, but I think Chuck Waldrop is going to have it clear off the backstretch, and Chuck Waldrop making a statement.
Chuck Waldrop is showing that he is not going to be an easy out. He's trying to make it past the first round, and Waldrop down to the bottom side of the racetrack on the front straightaway. He might be loose.
Oh, and Greg Newsom's going to come back and attack on the inside now, and he's going to try and ride that high line, and it's not going to help, but they're still going to bounce side by side, almost getting into him.
If Chuck Waldrop is not able to finish this race, that brings up new questions to see if Greg Newsom can make it into the next round of the playoffs. But now Waldrop gets his thoughts gathered up. He opens up the margin a little bit to Greg Newsom and has a 4-point advantage over the cut line. Chuck Waldrop showing that he's not going to be an easy out in this MSRA Truck Series presented by VFW Playoff Run.
Yeah, and what a run he's had, just riding at the back, you know, not getting into any wrecks, missing all the wrecks that he's been through so far, and Greg Newsom getting into some, and getting some unfortunate luck, and that's all it can be here at Bristol. Things happen so quick, and, you know, you're just not timed up to what happens, and Chuck Waldrop doing a great job of the events he's been handed tonight.
Well, Chuck Waldrop, he might make a little bit more out of this. He's trying to get a top 5 in this race. Look at him chase on up to the 2 truck of Matt Dyer.
Yeah, he got there really quick. I was actually honestly surprised. He was already on Matt Dyer, and if he can gain another spot, this just even cements him more into the second round. He's going to look to the inside, not get there yet. He's still peeking, but I think he's going to try and go to the inside and turn 1, and he is.
Side by side, and Chuck Waldrop is into the top 5. Now make that 5 points above the cut line for Chuck Waldrop. What a stellar run it has been for Chuck Waldrop tonight here at the Bristol Motor Speedway. It got off to a little bit of a slow start. He's now trying to work his way past the lap truck of Richard Clement. But Chuck Waldrop in the 2nd and 3rd stage has come alive. He's shown that he is a top 5 truck tonight. He's able to contend, and hey, you never know. He might still be competing for a championship in another 3 weeks' time.
Yeah, that is right. You never know what happens in the playoffs, and playoff racing is good and sometimes bad, but, you know, I like the playoff system, the way that they have it here at MSRA. It is a great system, and man, these drivers are going all out, and they want to win a championship.
Absolutely. So Chuck Waldrop continuing on his tear forward. What is also happening is Alan Dobbs has now brought it to within half a second of John Gifford.
Yeah, I think Alan Dobbs has the long run speed, and he is gearing up to go get John Gifford. That long run truck for Alan Dobbs looking pretty quick right now.
Try to look off the rear end here of John Gifford, who does not have this thing salted away just yet. He's going to have to work for it here against Alan Dobbs, the 8-time race winner this season. Gifford, he's got 3 wins of his own, though. He knows how to win in this series as well. We're about to see these boys go toe-to-toe here in this third playoff race of 7.
Yeah, and as we see right there, they're going to catch up to a lap truck of Matt Dyer, who's also in the playoffs. Maybe try and do something there. I doubt he's going to try and get block these leaders and just let them go by, but again, they are catching that lap truck of Matt Dyer, who could do something. He's just going to pull off for him.
Matt Dyer lets the 2 leaders by because they get ready to do some battle here. They're coming around to nearly 20 laps to go. This should be, I believe, 22 to go. Here comes Dobbs to the outside.
The defense from Matt Dyer.
Oh!
They make contact.
But Dobbs around the outside out of turn number 4. New leader. It is Alan Dobbs into 22 once again.
Man, I was just about to applaud John Gifford for his defense on the inside, blocking that greater lane, but Alan Dobbs able to get around the outside and get that lead back.
What a job from Alan Dobbs to stay in it. He is a fighter at that. When the going got tough, he did not just sit and whine about it. He put his head down. He drove back to the field. He drove up to second. He battled it out mentally and then had to go at it physically there against John Gifford. And now with less than 20 laps to go, coming around this time by the 18 laps to go here at the Bristol Motor Speedway, Alan Dobbs is your race leader by over now half a second over John Gifford and is pulling away.
Yeah, I think his truck was built up for the long run, so the short run speed wasn't there, but as soon as we kept getting those green flags and kept them going, that long run truck just got better for Alan Dobbs, and I think that's what makes him a great driver in MSRA. He has the long run ability and the wrong run speed to get his truck where he needs it to be if we go green flag to flag.
Absolutely, and John Gifford, he put up a valiant effort, but at the moment, there's still a lot of racing to go. This race is not over. But that battle at the moment looks like it is over, and that's a slow truck off the pit lane. Is that Greg Newsom pulling in? No, I'm sorry, that was another red truck. But Greg Newsom is going at it with the lead lap truck of Zenla Collins here.
Yeah, and it's gonna be a tight battle side by side down the front stretch, and Greg Newsom's gonna get around him. No. Never mind, he's not. Zenno Collins putting on the fight.
This is a pretty intense battle, being that they're not on the same lap, and contact there between Newsom and Collins.
That would have not been good, and man, again, like I said earlier, Zenno Collins has been around a lot of contact. We should change his nickname to Mr. Contact because he's been around a lot of it.
Boys, Chuck Waldrop may be able to take a top 4 tonight. He has closed the gap to Justin Carey.
And what a run that would be to get a top 4 battling 8 points from the playoff spot, the playoff bubble. Man, what a run that would be for Chuck Waldrop and how happy he would be.
Well, Chuck Waldrop's going to give it his all. Had a little bit of a moment there. He lost a little bit of time there to Justin Carey, but man, even if he doesn't get that spot, what a valiant effort from Chuck Waldrop to show that he is still a force to be reckoned with in this playoffs. Should he advance the way it's going right now, he should. But if we continue on now, coming around to 10 laps to go, this time by for Alan Dobbs, who's just behind. 10 laps to go.
And Alan Dobbs putting on a show for us here. He had to battle and struggle through the traffic with that pit issue we had earlier on in stage 2, I believe it was stage 1 or stage 2, and he was able to get through that traffic, and then he got some damage, hit the wall, and he's out here leading at lap 192 and getting close to the end of this one.
Alan Dobbs now opens up a 1.3 second advantage. This time around will be 7 laps to go from the last great Coliseum. And here we go. Waldrop to the inside of Carey. This is her 4th position.
Oh man, it's getting ever so close, and Alan Dobbs is close behind that battle, so it's going to be hard for him to get around.
Near contact.
Oh man, can Chuck Waldrop get it? He's looking for it, and Carey's in the wall.
Justin Carey catches the wall out of turn 4. Chuck Waldrop up to 4th. The going got tough. It looked like he was going to be the driver to be out of the playoffs tonight. And how the tables have turned. Chuck Waldrop now being a force to be reckoned with later on in this race. He's claimed himself a playoff spot. If he can continue on in these next 5 laps, he's up to 4th and could potentially have a podium if something happens ahead. Chuck Waldrop, literally with his back up against the wall tonight, has fought through the adversity, got himself a playoff spot, and still at it. Coming around to this time by will be 3 laps to go.
And for Greg Newsom, instead of the tables have turned, the turns have tabled for Greg Newsom. He looked good in the early runnings of this race, just not able to get the truck where he wanted to be, getting into some incidents, and it looks like as of right now he's going to be out of the playoffs. And you know, as bad as that may is, he still put up a valiant effort to try and get himself in.
1 mile left from the world's fastest half mile. 2 laps to go. The lap truck there, Corey Hassler, trying to get his way back by Alan Dobbs. He's got a 1.6 second advantage. The leader nearly up into the wall, but he comes off a turn 4. 1 lap to go from the virtual Bristol Motor Speedway. The 8-time winner takes the white flag presented by Tucson Sound Art. And into turns 3 and 4 for the final time. He dominated stage 1. Lost the lead to a pit road rule, but he'll win the race in the end of it. Alan Dobbs, a 9-time race winner this season.
What a run for Alan Dobbs, like having all those issues and still able to win. But what a run for John Gifford. You know, I think the long run was better for Alan Dobbs, but John Gifford still had a great run and was able to at least salvage a 2nd place there.
And while we will wait for official word from the admins, my math has this pretty much a lock that Chuck Waldrop only had 8 points above the cut line coming into today's race. At the end of stage 2 was only 4 points above the cut line, fought through and bested a few drivers there at the end to extend his margin at the top, at the playoff bubble. So I believe Chuck Waldrop is into the next round of playoffs. We will await official word from the admins. But what we do know is Alan Dobbs won this race, and he's celebrating on the front straightaway.
Yeah, and he deserves it. He put on a great show for us here at MSRA, like he always does when we come and broadcast this series. A great showing for Alan Dobbs and a great win to be able to come back from all the issues he's had tonight.
Well, that being said, much-deserved celebrations there for the 22 of Alan Dobbs, now a 9-time race winner on the season. Don't go anywhere. On the far side of this break, we're going to have post-race reactions from some of the podium drivers and more here from the virtual Bristol Motor Speedway. This has been the Midwest Sim Racing Association's Truck Series presented by VFW, race number 18 at 22, round number 3 of 7 in the playoffs. Don't go anywhere. Interviews and more on the far side.
SoundArt introduces an entirely new way to listen to music in your home. By combining the best of two products, a revolutionary high-fidelity, low-profile Bluetooth wireless speaker with beautiful artwork. Select from a library of artwork or upload your own photos to personalize your experience. SoundArt ushers in an era of invisible, beautiful, and amazing sound throughout your home and redefines your entire entertainment system. The need to reclaim your floor space and rid your home of unsightly speaker boxes that need to be bolted to the wall is now a thing of the past. Our canvas is printed on high-quality permalite by Breathing Color. And select from our gallery or upload your own. Standard sizes include 16 by 20 and 18 by 24 canvas wrapped. Custom sizing is available, as well as surround sound options.
After months of quarantine, we're all interested in how we can become our best self. The team at Permanent Makeup and Cryo is here to help you get the flawless makeup look every day without the extra effort or time. When it comes to your appearance, you deserve the best care that money can buy.
Welcome, race fans, back to the virtual Bristol Motor Speedway. We're now in the post-race coverage of the Midwest Sim Racing Association Truck Series, presented by VFW, race number 18 of 22, playoff race number 3 of 7. It was a cutoff race tonight, and it saw a battle between Chuck Waldrop and Greg Newsom that we thought was going to go one way, and all of a sudden, Chuck Waldrop powered through and overcame the odds and held on to what was rightfully his, a playoff spot into the second round. We'll wait official word on that to confirm that, but what we do know for sure is we have a race winner. After all that and all was said and done, we are bringing back into the booth driver of the number 22, Alan Dobbs. And Alan, 9th win on the season. Do you ever get tired of winning? Well, so tonight,
before anything else, I just want to apologize to John Binder for getting into his corner panel and ending his race there. I did not intend to do that, and I really hate that he got collected by a couple of other cars and put out of it. So just apologies to him.
Absolutely. So we'll kick off again with you led 92 laps today, looking like you were trying to lead 192 laps today with that first stage. Then you got behind in that first stage, or at the stage break, because of the pit road rule. We didn't get to talk to you then, but you said we're gonna find out how your truck handles in dirty air. How did it feel in that dirty air?
It was definitely a lot tighter. Like it was a lot harder coming through the traffic than I thought it would be. There's just not really. Everybody was really close, to be honest. Like we all qualified really well, and it's both the high side and the low side were both working pretty well. I mean, the low side had a little bit of an advantage, but it was hard to make anything happen coming through.
Yeah, that makes sense. So there at the end, a long, third stage run there, 90 laps. You're tailing John Gifford. It looks like he has the early advantage, but about 30 laps to go. You start to close that gap in, and then you have to go for the overtake. About 20 laps to go. How was it mentally to kind of just be tailing John Gifford at that stagnant gap for about 60 laps, hoping for that light to come at the end of the tunnel, and then the light started to flicker there about 30 to go?
Yeah, that's what I was hoping for. It's really hard to kind of judge how much you're using your tires versus somebody else, and I knew he had a really, really fast truck for at least 40 or 45 laps, so I was hoping, if I could just not completely kill my right front, maybe we can get lap 70, lap 75, and I'll start seeing a gain. And that's pretty much how it worked out. I don't know. Apparently the track was causing Gifford some issues, and apparently he's mad at me for it. They're my goons, apparently. I don't know exactly what's going on, but I know from my point of view, I saw me save my tires run him down and make a clean pass. So I don't, good race to him. He had a great truck, but I think I just saved my tires a little bit better.
At the end of the day, you were the driver to cross the finish line first. Now looking forward to the season. Next round, you have Charlotte, and I believe then you have, I think it's Vegas instead. And a couple other races before you get to the finale there at Phoenix. How do you feel about that next round, Vegas, Dega, and Martinsville?
Well, Dega is always Dega, so you never really know about that. And then, Martinsville is always Martinsville, so you never really know about that. And, the intermediate, we had a little bit of trouble last time we went to Vegas with our teammate, actually, while we were racing for the lead. And we'll just have to try to stay out of that trouble, and I think we'll be all right there. But the other two are, throw your hands up, hope for the best.
I guess we'll have to wait and see for those two. But that next week is Las Vegas. Alan, before we let you go here, 9th win on the season. Who'd you have to shout out? Who'd you have to thank for getting it done tonight?
Yeah, just thanks to my teammates, American Reject Motorsports, Flying Dragoons, Thin Line Racing, MK Designs. Thank you guys for the broadcast and the admins for letting me race. Hope everybody has a good night.
Well, right on. Well, congratulations on your 9th win on the season, Alan. Best luck to you next week at Las Vegas and, of course, the rest of your playoff run.
All right, thank you.
Again, 9-time race winner, driver of the number 22, Alan Dobbs. With the driver we have coming up next, who's standing by for Jacob Sala, is driver of the number 82, John Gifford.
Yeah, and John Gifford, you had a great run tonight. You were leading there for a lot in the second stage. What could you have done better, to beat Alan Dobbs?
I don't know what I could have done, honestly, because I was pedaling my truck the entire run, saving the right front. Once we got into lap traffic and the lap traffic started slowing me down, I had to start driving harder to get by the lap traffic because they kept blocking me and pinching me down. So, really nothing within my control that I could have done any better to beat him.
Well, you made it into the second round. I know there's some tough tracks coming up, but what are your visions for a championship? Do you think you can go and grab a championship, maybe spoil Alan Dobbs?
Possible. I had a really fast truck at Vegas in the spring, so I got a pretty good shot there to close up the gap. I've always been strong at Martinsville and Phoenix, so all that really matters is Phoenix at this point.
Alright, well that should be a good one for you. Hopefully you make up the gap there. John, I'm going to go ahead and give you the floor here for anyone you'd like to shout out tonight for your run here at Bristol Motor Speedway.
Start off with John Berger for the setup. Truck was like a slot car out there, easy to drive. David Centini for bringing us on board. MSRA for putting on the race. PitStop for broadcasting it. That's about it for tonight.
All right, John Gifford. Well, good run tonight, and hopefully we see you back up here when we broadcast next. Good luck to you, man.
Yep, thank you.
And now we'll bring it back to Emerson, who will bring it in our third place finisher, driver number 29, Zendela Collins.
And this driver, Zendela Collins, was around it all today. He was around the lead battle. He was around the wrecks. He was around all the action throughout the night. Zendela, very, very eventful night. And you'll come out with a podium. First, how do you feel about that? And how do you feel about how the night went?
Hey, guys. We had our BRS direct drive Chevy hooked up pretty good tonight. Yeah, we got together with a few guys, some 0X damage out there and some netcode stuff. And yeah, we weaved and bobbed out of a few of those little wrecks. But luckily enough, we was able to keep her in the top 5 most of the night. So yeah, I feel good about it.
Absolutely. It looked like a fun run for you out there. There's a lot of points of netcode today and about those wrecks. So what could you see from your point of view? Was there anything maybe you could have done differently? I mean, I know it's netcode, but to maybe kind of negate some of that, or was it just, I mean, it's Bristol. There's not that much room.
I believe about the only wreck that I could have had anything else to do with is the one me and Matt Dyer had there, and basically he had got the run and to get in front of me, but I was coming off of the turn or coming through the center of the turn and had a little bit of a run back on him. It said he was clear, but you know, he unfortunately wasn't, so he turned down on me. The only thing I could have done was maybe just stab the brakes a little bit, but I was afraid it was going to upset my truck, you know, coming off of the turn. And as close as the race in the air is at Bristol, you got to fight for every spot you got. You got to, you know, claw tooth and nail through this whole race. I mean, I'm sitting here right now with fingers numb from gripping the steering wheel too tight and trying to hold on for this third place finish.
Yeah, absolutely. And by no means were we thinking that you should have laid off or anything like that. It's just that there was a lot that happened. But at that, yes, you got that third place finish, a hard fought one. Look forward now to Las Vegas, Dega, Martinsville the next round. How do you feel about the outset there?
Yeah, we we've been putting some good setups together here lately, and we fought our way into the playoffs and managed to looks like we're going to progress on through the playoffs. So, I mean, hey, hats off to everybody on my team at Eclipse Esports and Alan Murray and Ryan Chaw and them. We sit down and we put some good setups together. But you know, I had to first off and thank veterans of foreign wars there. You know, I served in the military myself, so you know, I really am pro-military, and I appreciate everybody's service and anybody that's in here and listening to the channel and watching the channel. You know, we appreciate your service, no matter what, you know, type of service that you do. But yeah, we felt good about it. I feel good about these upcoming races. I think we can put some competitive stuff out there on the track, and you know, hopefully we can go to this top 4.
Absolutely, and that's what it's all about, making it to that final race. Well, then, a couple people you thank there. Is there anyone else you'd like to thank for your podium finish tonight here at Bristol and getting the job done despite having to battle all through all the incidents and then having to sit through the intense battles, hoping that it wouldn't come back into your lap?
Yeah, definitely. Thank y'all. As far as PitStop TV, y'all put on a great product, and we appreciate y'all coming on board as always and promoting what we do over here at MSRA. Next thing is MSRA. They put on a great product as well as far as getting good competitive drivers in here. And, you know, we hope to continue it. And we hope everybody stays on board and we can grow this thing. I know it's getting a little bit low. We're in the playoffs, but usually 18, 20 cars out there. Hopefully we can get a full run on it coming up soon.
Absolutely. The show that y'all put on, even with only a 15 truck field, is still a great one at that, because we were fully locked in the entire 200 lap event, and as I'm sure you were as well. But Zenla Collins, congratulations on the podium finish tonight. Best luck to you in the rest of the playoffs, good sir. Hopefully we'll talk to you a little bit more throughout the season.
Yeah, I hope so. Thank y'all, guys.
And again, that was driver of the number 29, Zenla Collins. And now, what we usually do here is we usually have only 3 interviews with the podium finishers. But I think it was such a valiant effort there that our 4th place driver put on there to overcome the odds. What looked like he was going to be the driver knocked out of the playoffs. We got 4th place driver Chuck Waldrop of the 7 standing by for Jacob Zala.
And Chuck Waldrop, I've been excited for this interview since the race has concluded. You know, I just look at the points now. You made it in 7+ points. Talk to me about it.
Yeah, it was an interesting situation. I didn't really get a lot of practice in this week, and basically hopped in the car and the truck, and the first practice was basically me turning some laps during qualifying. So I was out of town all week, and then today happens to be my wife's birthday, so that caused a problem as well. So anyway, I don't know. I just got better as the night went on and made some adjustments to tighten the truck up a little so I wouldn't lose it, and that's how she ended.
Yeah, that is for sure. You had a really great run. You know, at first we thought Greg Newsom was going to be the one to take you out, but you stayed and you continued to fight and you did it. And what does it take in the brain to, you see that Greg Newsom is up ahead of you? What were you thinking at that point in time? Like, what was your thought process?
Well, I knew I was faster than him because I ran him down from way behind, and I was just trying to be careful to get around him without wrecking both of us, just to be honest. So, it was going to be a tight run, but I just didn't want to give up my position where I was, and I was okay finishing behind him because I think I still had the spot to move on in the playoffs even behind him. So that's where I was thinking I was going to be careful.
Yeah, and I got two more questions for you. My last actual question for you: how did you miss all those wrecks?
Well, I was just being careful. I mean, I think part of that is the lack of practice, and I knew I needed to be real careful, so I hung around in the back during the first part of the race and missed some of those. And then, toward the end, I just was lucky on some of those.
All right. Well, I think I've chopped your ear off enough tonight, Chuck. Is there anyone you'd like to thank for your fourth place finish here tonight at Bristol?
I'd just like to thank Richard and the Thin Line team. We've kind of had an alliance together, and the guys kind of helped me a little bit.
All right, Chuck. Well, if that is it for you tonight. Great finish, and we'll get you back down to your respective Discord and everything. And good run tonight, and we'll see you on the far side.
All right, thank you, sir. Have a good one.
Thanks, you too, man. All right, and we'll bring it back to Emerson Arden, who will close us out for this thing.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, what a race we saw tonight, Jacob. I little worried when we got into it that we only had 15 trucks on the track for tonight's race, but at VAT it was something. We had normal Bristol racing, with the wrecks at the beginning of the race. Then we had a hard fought racing in the middle of the race where it was hard to pass, and then even at the long run at the end, we had where tire conservation was key, and we didn't have a single dominant driver today. We had two. And they kind of traded back and forth. It was Alan Dobbs who got the best of it at the end there. But let's see how the rest of the field came to the checkers at VAT. Of course, Alan Dobbs got the win with 92 laps led. John Gifford, I'd imagine, led the other 100 and some laps. 2.1 seconds behind at the checkers. Then Collins, we talked to him as well. 7.2 seconds off of Alan Dobbs. Chuck Waldrop, as Jacob mentioned, 7 points above the cut line along with John Binder. Both make it into the next round of playoffs. He'll finish 4th. Chuck Waldrop Justin Carey will finish 5th. Last truck 1 lap on the lead lap. Matt Dyer, the first truck, 1 lap down in 6th. Greg Newsom will come home in 7th. A valiant effort early, but Newsom not able to get the job done to make it into the next round of the playoffs. 8th will be Richard Clement, 7 laps down. 9th will be Matt Knight, 11 laps down. And Chris Noble will round out the top 10, 97 down.
And then after that, you have Corey Hassler, 110 down in 11th. John Binder, 125 down in 12th. Michael Dini, 137 down in 13th. Caleb Smith, 183 down in 14th. And Bill Dolph running at the field, only making down 192 laps, only making, I believe that is 8 laps into this race tonight, finishing 15th.
That's how the 15 drivers came to the checkers, or ended up being classified by the time the night was over. A very, very busy track at VAT. Throughout the night, it's Alan Dobbs, the race winner. Waldrop makes it into the next round along with Binder. Newsom puts on the valiant effort, not able to get it done. And yeah, that's kind of how that wraps up tonight's show. Of course, we can do it without all of our lovely partners here at PitStop TV, like Tucson Sound Art. Your picture, your music. Use promo code PitStop TV at checkout for 10% off of your wall-mounted sound art device today. Although, of course, PitStop TV broadcast would not be possible without the support of Race Pace Setups. Pick up pace with Race Pace, a community-driven setup shop and driver development program. You cannot do it without the support of Permanent Makeup and Cryo in Maine. You deserve the best care that money can buy. Of course, PitStop TV broadcast is presented by Whiplash Media, the official graphic and camera provider of PitStop TV. You can grab your iBroadcast cameras today. We're at www.pitstoptv.com/Whiplash. And of course, our friends at BAM Racing Videos, by a race fan, for the racing community. Go ahead and like them on Facebook. What's coming up for the channel in the coming weeks? Of course, last night we had the Outlaw Sim Series in New Hampshire, and Greg Holt got it done for his second win on the season there. Tonight, of course, was the MSRA Truck Series presented by VFW, and of course, we just saw that. Don't really have to recap that. Dobbs getting the win there. But tomorrow night, the MSRA National Series takes to the High Banks at Bristol as well. 8:15 p.m. Eastern tomorrow night. You won't want to miss the Xfinity Series tackling this high-speed half-mile. Tuesday night, we look to potentially crown our NORC Season 13 champion, Daniel Falcon, who has a 75-point advantage heading into the second-to-last race of the season at the Chicagoland Speedway, 6:40 p.m. Eastern. You won't want to miss it. And next Wednesday night will be a doubleheader. We'll have the Cars Esport Tour at Hickory going on there. The newly released short track, and again, tight pit exit there. It'll be very interesting to see how the Cars Esport Tour handle that pit lane. And, of course, the Outlaw Sim Series takes to the Tricky Triangle next Wednesday night as well. Before we are, I have to make sure what's next for us with the MSRA Truck Series. But next Thursday night, nonetheless, is the MSRA Truck Series presented by VFW. They're at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway for their first race of the second round. And we'll be sure to keep tabs on that to see how the playoffs are going for them. That being said, Jacob, where can people keep up with all the updates for all of our series here at PitStop TV?
Well, Emerson, you can find these great fans can find us on Facebook.com/PitStop TV, on Twitter.com/PitStop TV_, on Instagram.com/Pit_Stop_TV, YouTube.com/C/PitStop TV1, and on Twitch on Twitch.tv/Pit_Stop_TV.
Absolutely. Those are our 5 social media channels. And of course, tonight, our Facebook, our Instagram, and our Twitter were flooded by the beautiful posts from the great Trey Shuttlesworth handling our social media duties tonight, along with the amazing work that he put on tonight. He was alongside of Jacob Zala on the commentary with myself, Emerson Arn, on the mic and the production side of things this evening. Once again, we hope you enjoy. That'll do it from the Bristol Motor Speedway. We're happy to have had you all here for tonight's action, and we hope you enjoyed tonight's broadcast. For all of us at PitStop TV, thank you for tuning in. We'll see you next time.